Right now I am going to do graphing practice on worksheet 1, the very first data set. I am going to be graphing volume versus pressure. And this video will simply give you guys an opportunity just to follow along in case you're having some trouble doing this on your own. So right now I double click the y-axis. This will be pressure, P for pressure, and the unit is in pascals. I will type in my data now, 0.1, 5, 1, 4, 5, 8, 10. And pressure will be 8, 2, 1, 0.8, 0.5, 0.4. Now looking at this graph, it looks like it's obviously not linear. It's not a parabolic shape. Rather, it looks like an inverse. So to take a quick look, I'll go to curve fit, and I can scroll down. I'll see inverse, try fit, and that seems to be fitting in pretty well. It could also possibly be inverse square, but that misses it. And plus we haven't learned inverse square yet. So I click OK, and you can see over here I have a quick value for this. Now this graph is what you're going to sketch for your very first graph. Where it says sketch of the original graph. Now I'm going to sketch a test plot, or in other words, I am going to linearize this. If I'm going to linearize this, I want to create a new calculated column. This will be 1 divided by volume. So it'll be 1 over V and 1 over meters cubed. You can see I could choose a superscript from here. For my mathematical expression, it would be 1 divided by, I'll choose the variable, volume. Done. You can see now I have 3 columns here. My new column is 1 over volume. Now I could either simply change my x-axis to 1 over volume over here, but instead I'm going to insert a new graph. With this new graph, I can choose my y-axis by clicking one time to be pressure, my x-axis to be 1 over volume. And you can see it looks pretty linear now. I will click on this one over here where it says linear fit, and now I have my linear fit data. Note, of course, that I have my slope stated right over here as well as my y-intercept. But my y-intercept is very close to 0, so I'm just going to cancel it out entirely. So now this is my test plot, or my linearized graph, which you will draw on your paper. For your mathematical expression, it's based off of y is equal to mx plus b. The variable on the y-axis is pressure, which is going to equal to the slope. I'll just label it as p actually. The slope was given over here as 4.024. The slope was given as 4.024, and they even include a unit there as well, which was, in this case, pascals divided by 1 over meters cubed. 1 over meters cubed. Now that's a very long unit for slope, but that's okay. And times this the x-axis variable, which is 1 over volume, plus the y-intercept. So in this case, the y-intercept is 0. So here is my slope. Here is my x value. And this is what your equation should look like. Okay? It's hopefully not as messy as I've made it look.